Okay, gonna put this head back together. I will say I might have to go back and once again do some of the stuff I did because I should have read the manual before going gung-ho into piston assembly and installation. Found out what those numbers were on the front of each one of the cylinders. That's the grade, and you know, I'm thinking all of them are within spec, so who cares? But now it makes me want to check and make sure that the cylinder bores are exactly the same between the grade 1 and grade 2. And then also I kind of jumped ahead and I put the I kind of jumped ahead and I put the rod bearings on, assuming that everything would be fine because they didn't show any wear. Then I realized those were the rod bearings on a different crank. So I have the plastic gauge. I guess I'll use it. Oh well, should have read first. Anyway, valve stem seals, valves. I'll go check those pistons. I also forgot to oil the pistons before putting them in. I mean, I usually put them in and then oil it and cycle it a couple times and then clean the deck before putting the head on. But I don't think that's a big deal. Got my valve stem seals. Oh, hold on. Yeah. The washers, the spring washers. So we have, let's make sure we have all of them. So like I said, they kind of dislodged when they got cleaned, but not all of them did. In fact, the rest of them move about freely and I cannot get them out with the pick. So, let's see, that's in, or that's clear, I mean. That's got one. I have another little project I might be doing. I've got a 2002 Maxima with a VQ35DE 6-speed stick, and has a problem that I recognize that seemed to be fairly common in the older VQ35. You're in gear, you're accelerating, and you decide to dump it. Well, if you dump it at a 2,500 RPM, 3,000 RPM range, then you feel this brief, I don't know if you want to call it a moment of hesitation, because it's not really hesitation. You can kind of feel it want to get stronger and then it doesn't. But if you more gently push on the gas, then you get tons of torque followed by tons of horsepower. And what seems to be happening, there's a lot more crap in there. All right, well, pick that free and spray it out later. There we go. Use the compressed air. What seems to be happening is when you push on the gas, the solenoid that hits a vacuum, there's a solenoid that hits a vacuum pump. The vacuum pump pulls a lever. The lever, oh, I don't have my oil. I'm gonna go get my oil. There we go. The lever pulls a flap inside the intake, and the intake changes shape depending on whether you need low RPM torque or high RPM horsepower. So thing is, that is powered by a or yeah, powered by a vacuum storage can. You've probably seen it if you've worked on any VQs. And it, 6mm? Looks to be 6mm. Yep. Use the tool properly. So, you know, you're idling, cruising, whatever, and it's filling that up with vacuum. Boy, the physics are terrible. It's drawing the air out of that can. Is this one of the ones where you need a hammer? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think these go on with just the downward pressure. I want to see because I don't want to break them. Yeah. Okay. You get a hammer. Alright, so the problem is with that VQ pump, I don't think that went on all the way. First one. It doesn't look great. I'm going to try the next one. I don't want to just keep beating on it. So if you have any exhaust leak, then it doesn't like to, if it's depending on which side of the can it's on, it either doesn't fill up very quickly or it's leaking and you never really get it to fully pull the variable intake door all the way. And of course it's fighting against the natural vacuum, you know, the airflow. I guess that's on. It's gotta be. We're going with that. Yes, I read the manual. So, you know, if you push quickly, the door has more throttle, not throttle, but intake forces to fight. And also, when you open the throttle all the way, you equalize the intake pressure with the outside, which means you have no residual vacuum, you know, pressure differential to draw from to open that door. Now, the standard solution is block the plate in the high horsepower configuration and just keep it that way all the time. So you get maximum horsepower at high RPM. Okay, I drive around town. I like torque. I would like it to be the way that it was originally designed, but not to suck. So what I'm going to try to do, caught it, is I have some solenoids coming in, some push-pull piston solenoids, and I'm going to try making a electric version of the Vias door opener. I don't see why it would make a whole lot of difference if it's electric or if it's vacuum. I don't even think the car will throw any codes or know that anything's different. I mean, it probably has some, you know, resistance or something like that that it detects to see whether the Vias is opening correctly. Sure, I can match it, fool it. Might even be able to just leave the existing solenoid hooked up and say put a transistor or something to actuate the push-pull pistons. But what I think that will allow is virtually instantaneous throttle response. So, you know, you're at a low RPM, low throttle, and you suddenly drop it. It should instantly be at the high torque configuration, and then you're at middle RPM, you drop it. It should instantly be at the high horsepower configuration. One thing I'm a little concerned about is, will that cause the arm that opens and closes the door, will it cause that too much stress? So, you know, might have to get like a step motor or something like that. But I don't think that's going to be a problem. They seem to be going on normally. They don't look like they're going down all the way. I'm going to shine some light and see if one of them is lower than all the rest, then I'll know that I'm not going all the way in. But I mean, it's bottoming. I mean, this is how I did it with the other one. The other one hasn't been installed. Hey, they gave me extras. Oh, that was sweet. They didn't give me extras on the last one, and I messed one up and had to order another pack. Okay. Now, I'm going to just sort of glance down and make sure they're all at the same height. Yeah, they all seem to have that same exact amount of a gap. I don't know, it looks weird, but I guess it's right. I don't think I got any pictures from that deep in to be able to compare to, so this is what I got. All right, valves. Oh, wait, let me put my tools away. I don't expect to have to use this again. Boy, for maybe months, year. Basically did this to all my motors. Let's grab this one. I'm trying to remember which, was it the 30 millimeter? 30 seems good. Ow. Okay. Let's dip you. Haven't done that in a little while. Oh, and I got my, I haven't gone to get them yet, but I brought my turbo manifolds, both the one for this car and for the Sentra, to a local machinist, and he said they're done. They were way off, and they both had, what, a few thousand miles, hardly anything, before they started to warp radically. And he said, yeah, that's kind of just what they do. So, did I get this backwards? Yes, but that's okay. Oh, and I didn't dip this in oil. Okay. Yeah, we don't like to spin the center pin in and just start grinding a hole in the center of the valve. I mean, having the bucket spin around on the end of the valve is kind of annoying too, but you know, pick your poison. All right, that goes here, and let's see, this is the exhaust side. It's the intake side. So exhaust side, first exhaust should be over there. Yep, that should be correct. So let's give it a try. Now, of course, you just barely can't see this. Well, if I goof up on the first one, you won't know it. I'll just pretend it went great, and then you'll see me figure out what I'm doing wrong for the second, third. Think that I'm a real master. All right. It's way too far in, so hold on. There we go. Now for this part, they say put some grease on the keepers. I have never had that work. Unfortunately, what I've always had to do is set the head on something and hold it. But, well, I got it up on its side. Let me get the stem sticking out through the top of the spring. Or the stem, the valve, top of the valve sticking out through the top of the spring. I wonder if I've got enough angle to do it this way. Maybe. Oh, am I centered? Yeah, I'm centered. Okay. And you know what else I forgot to check? I forgot to get a really close look at the keepers to make sure that the intake and exhaust keepers are the same. Let me see. Alright. Probably not going to show up. Alright, they do appear to be the same. I'm going to see if I can hold them end to end or lose one. That's one thing. These gloves make it really hard to hold valve keepers. Alright, yeah, these are the same. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rotate this way. Yeah. You know, I might be able. Yeah, there's one. I wonder if you can see. Yeah, you might be able to see it too. Darn it. It really is tricky with these gloves. Let's see if this is any better. Get my really fine needle nose. Oh, come on. Let's just be sure and get as much dirt on these as possible. Oh, come on. No, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it this way. This is how I've always ended up having to do it. Which is not terrible, except that when you get towards the center, the whole thing wants to fall off the table. That would be bad. I hope you saw that. And no, I don't get paid to do any of this. There might be a little bit more professionalism if I were. But nope, this is just me doing my thing, figuring out how long it takes. So if you got to do this, you could decide not to and just buy a different car. Nah, this is good stuff to do. And I will say though, I have had one or two instances where I've gone through all the work and messed up a step and ended up destroying an engine. But you know, I think for anything that we've done, you know, any profession we've gotten into, that's just how things go. You know, we tend to screw up badly at least once. You know, that's weird. That's not, that other keeper is not actually in the slot. Yeah, hold on. Something is wrong here. I assembled the other head. Let me go take a look at that. I don't know how much stem is supposed to, or the valve is supposed to be sticking up out of the top. No, I'm doing it right. That's there, okay. Okay, I got one keeper in, so I should be able to just start lifting. The other one should snap in place. And there it goes. Okay, good. One. All right. Time for a break. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Ben, don't drop a valve. Okay. Okay. Yep. Just toss them in there. Maybe they'll just fall into place. And one I was putting together and started loosening the spring compressor. It's all going into place and then poing! I'm looking online like, oh gosh, how much is it going to cost me to buy another one? Like $12 a piece. I found it. I think I mentioned this already. Whoop. Hey! 2. 14 more to go. Yeah, freaking who? Ah, man. It'd be funny as if I put an exhaust valve in an intake slot. Curious what that would look like. There. Yeah, I'm not even going to try. Just going straight for the pliers. I'm going straight for the swear words. Okay. That one's in. Hey, hey! Alright. Y'all probably can't even see what I'm doing. Sorry, I really just can't put the camera somewhere that's gonna see this. Okay, out there. Exhaust. Yeah, these didn't take much lapping to get to look really good though. I mean, other than the dirt I just put on them, they're pretty clean. Okay. Ow. I hit my head on my head. Alright. I was working on a QG18DE, and then I got my hands on a 93 Maxima SE, which has a VE30DE, and pull the valve covers off, and I'm like, man, these valves are huge! It's like these newer motors, they start to look like Swiss watches in comparison. And this is a 99. I mean, not, this is a KA, of course, but just looking at the difference between a 93 and a 90, well, a 92 or a 93. Well, I think it's the same motor either way, but yeah, the difference between the two. Okay, one's in, the other is not. Up, up. Look! I'll take it. What I should do is put like a little piece of heat shrink on the end of the bar on one side, so that if I do this, it doesn't end up spinning all the way out. Next time. You stay here. Another exhaust. God. Whew. Free heart attack. Free heart attack. Oh boy. Ride of my life.